covering all your local high school football games with highlights and scores. Now, Football Friday, brought to you by Alabama Credit Union.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome in to week number 10 of WVUA 23's Football Friday, presented by Alabama Credit Union. Visit alabamacu.com to learn more. And while you're there, check out Secret Meals for Hungry Children. It is a great, great program. Alabama Credit Union loans for real life. Check it out. All right, this is the final Friday night of the regular high school football season. The first round of the state playoffs are scheduled for next week. Now, we have highlights from 10 high school games tonight, including our Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Game of the Week between Pickens County and Gordo. That game was played on Thursday night, and we'll bring it to you later on in the program. Now, a number of teams scheduled byes for this week, and several more, including Hillcrest and American Christian, were scheduled to play, but their games were canceled. So we've got kind of a up and down schedule for tonight. But let's get started. Let's take you out for a big one. County High at Northridge. County High versus City rivalry. Breast cancer awareness at Northridge tonight. They were wearing their pink mid-first quarter. County High's Damian Taylor. We've watched him all year. That's why he's one of the best backs in the state. 7 yards out. He's headed to Troy. Missed PAT 6-0. Now, Northridge, Colin Shellnut will keep it himself and runs it in. The Jacks make the extra point. They go up 7-6. County High answers in the second quarter. Damian Taylor again with the touchdown run. This was quite a game. 13-7 Wildcats. After a stalled Northridge drive, TCHS one more time with Taylor. The hat trick in the first half. Cats up 19-7 at the halftime. Let's check it out. The final, County High hangs on to win it. What a ball game tonight. They get bragging rights against Northridge, 27-26. The 7A Wildcats over the Northridge Jags. So County High ends its season in style. Northridge on to the 6A playoffs next week. Northside hosting Sipsey Valley tonight. This one was all Northside as they wanted to close out their season at home in style. They go to the playoffs next week. First quarter, Braden Green crashes in from a yard out. That put the Rams on top of the Bears. Second quarter action now. It's Green again as he fakes it and then calls his own number and gets it across the goal line from about 11 yards out. Rams go, well, they don't go for two, but they botch the extra point, but it turns out working out because West Maluda catches it for a two-point conversion. And one more time before halftime, Green again. Saw Taylor get 3 touchdowns in the first half. So does Green. And the defense was making plays as well against Sipsey tonight. A sack right there as the quarterback for the Bears, no time at all. And then Kelton Camp with the pick, and then he gets the 6. The old pick 6 for Kelton Camp. Rams win it tonight, 29-0, the final score. West Blocton at Dora up in Walker County. And Dora back after 2 weeks away because of COVID, hosting West Blocton. And the Bulldogs start fast as Jamarcus Goodman takes the opening kickoff into West Blocton territory. And then Garrett Hodgland finds Jared McDavid as he goes up in traffic and high points the ball, pulls it in. Bulldogs in scoring position. Goodman then takes the handoff and finds the end zone. PAT no good, but Dora goes on top 6-0. But West Blocton comes back. They march it downfield. And they finish off the drive with the short touchdown to go up 7-6. The Bulldogs, though, come right back in the second quarter. Hodgland calls his own number for the touchdown. That made it 14-7 Dora. But as we check out the final, West Blocton wins a shootout tonight. 98 points total in this one. West Blocton takes it over Dora, 57-41. Aliceville hosting Linden this evening. Two proud programs, the Yellow Jackets and the Patriots. The Patriots driving up from Linden. And, boy, they look patriotic in those uniforms. Linden starts off hot. Tim Thurman runs it in for the touchdown. And then when the Pats get it back on their next possession, a little trickery. Savion McIntosh on a reverse. Gets the corner and gets it into the end zone. Linden looking good. The Patriots scored on 3 straight possessions. Kelly Aldridge Jr. here with this score, but Aliceville not giving up. as Linden goes for 2, and the Yellow Jackets defense says, no, not so fast. Good stop there. Yellow Jackets now on defense again with the Patriots on 4th and goal. And Jatavis Colvin stuffs the play as the Yellow Jackets playing some D, but when they got the ball, this is a problem right here. It is picked off. That will set up another Patriots touchdown from Stephen McIntosh, who closes it out. And Linden, as you see, McIntosh goes on to get the win, 34-6. Big road win tonight for the Patriots over the Yellow Jackets. Well, still to come on WVUA 23's Football Friday, presented by Alabama Credit Union. The end of a coaching era tonight in Birmingham, as Vestavia Hills legend Buddy Anderson, the winningest coach in Alabama high school football history, coached his final game for the Rebels tonight against Shades Valley. The highlights are on the way when we return to Football Friday.
We are Pickens County Tornadoes.
You're watching Football Friday
On WVUA 23.
Some of the Pickens County Tornado cheerleaders bring us back into Football Friday, and thanks to Pool and Patio Center all season for bringing us the cheerleaders. I'm Gary Harris. Final game for Buddy Anderson tonight at Vestavia Hills as the Rebels hosted the Shades Valley Mounties. A legend, the winningest coach in Alabama high school football history, waving to the fans. No way Vestavia was going to let him go out with a loss. Rebels' first drive, Braden Glenn rolls off play action and finds Cole Turner for 6. Vestavia hits the extra point. They go up 7-0. Second quarter, Tyrell Crawford is going to run it in for the touchdown. Rebels are up big, 24-7, and Vestavia will continue to pull away. Second half, Glenn in for the short touchdown, and it's time for a celebration. Take some pictures. Remember this moment. Yeah, they got a penalty for that one, but Buddy Anderson, he wasn't happy about that penalty. He's still coaching all the way to the end, but he gets the win. Let's check out the final. 52-27, Buddy Anderson goes out a winner. What a scene tonight over in Vestavia Hills. Homewood at Pelham this evening. Pelham Panthers trying to go 9-1 on the regular season, hosting the Patriots. Look at William Langford buying time and then just chucks it up. It's incomplete, bringing up a 4th down, and Pelham goes for it. But great defense by the Patriots there as the ball comes out. But here, Homewood is picked off. The Panthers' John White gets the interception, and that sets up a 43-yard strike from Langford to Christian. Pelham led 7-3 at the halftime, and Homewood hanging in, though. They go up there on the touchdown, 10-7, and the Patriots get the win tonight. A little bit of a surprise tonight in Pelham as we check out the final, 20-18. Good win for Homewood this evening over Pelham. Bessemer City at Jasper up in Walker County, the Purple Tigers and the Vikings. The Vikings honoring their 95 team, which included former Bama offensive lineman Griff Ridmill and plenty of other great players. And Jasper was going to make the alums happy on this night, leading 35-0 and still moving the ball. Quarterback Spencer Rosenfeld pulls it down and puts the Vikings in the red area right before the half. And from there, it is Rosenfeld. Come on, Rosenfeld, take the snap. There you go. Looking for a wide open Brandon Robertson. And when I said wide open, I wasn't lying. That's an easy touchdown, 42-0. Bessemer, you know, when you're getting beat like this, all you can do is play hard and keep trying. And they were trying here right before the end of the half. They try to make a play here, but it's just not their night as the sack is taken there. Let's take the final score, and we'll see that it was all Jasper this evening up in Walker County. 49-14 was the final score. Well, still to come, our complete Football Friday scoreboard on this final week of the regular season. But first, our Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports Game of the Week. Pickens County and Gordo played last night for the 96th time. Highlights when we return to Football Friday on WVUA 23.
Everybody's video. We're the County High School cheerleaders, and you're watching the
Thank you, Fayette County Tiger cheerleaders, for bringing us back from break. I'm Gary Harris. This has been an interesting season, obviously. Unprecedented with COVID, and didn't know if we were going to get to play. Schedules were delayed. So there's been a lot of, Friday nights where we've struggled to get scores. We've had cancellations. This is a perfect example of that. Let's go to Barry for our next game. Barry was scheduled to play Winterboro this evening, and we were there. But when we got to Fred Webster Stadium, nobody was home. Our schedule said the game was at Barry, but it was actually scheduled for Winterboro. But it's okay, because even though we were in Barry and the game was scheduled for Winterboro, it wasn't played at Winterboro either. They canceled the game because they had a power outage. So there was no game at Barry or at Winterboro. Let's go to the scoreboard, and we'll show you in the end it was canceled. And so, you know what? That's the way it's kind of gone this season, but we tried. All right, Hale County at Lamar County. And the Wildcats had that big win last week over Northside, and they kept it going tonight on the road at Lamar County. Second half, Hale County already up 27-19, and they're making plays here on defense, getting the stop on fourth down. After that was third down, here is the fourth down, and it cannot be caught. It is Hale County ball, and they look to capitalize. Quarterback Matt Swartz, who has had a great year. Matt Swartz goes deep, and it's a touchdown. And it is caught in the end zone. Let's check out the final. All Hale County tonight as they win it big, 62-38, and even 100 points in that game. All right.
Now, the game of the week, sponsored by Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports.
Our game of the week was Thursday night, the 96th meeting between Pickens County and Gordo. This one was in reform. Gordo had won 6 straight in the series, looking for 7 straight. Quarterback Christopher Neal, subbing for Tanner Bailey, finds J.T. Billups. He's got reservations for 6. That made it 14-0. Trouble now for Pickens County punting because Billups is on the other end. And I don't know if I'd punt it to that guy. He breaks contain, and he is off to the races. 50 yards for another touchdown. That made it 21-0. Second quarter, Gordo still moving the football. Play action. Neal rolls out and is going to throw a strike to DeCorian Thomas for another touchdown, 27-0. But Pickens County, they got a lot of pride. Michael Williams, former Crimson Tider, the head coach, former Tornado. Look at this. He calls a blitz, and it works. Ball, luckily for Gordo, goes out of the end zone. It's a safety. That made it 27-2, but Gordo just would not be denied. Here comes Neal. Down deep. Let's check out the final. 40-8. Gordo wins its 7th straight in the series. Both these teams are headed to the state playoffs. All right, this very unusual high school regular season has come to an end, but we aren't done. We've still got our band of the week and the complete Football Friday scoreboard. So stick around to find out how your team, if they played, did tonight when we return to the show right after this timeout. Summerton Christian High School is our marching band of the week. The song, My Girl, by The Temptations. Welcome back to Football Friday on WVUA 23. I'm Gary Harris. It's time now to check in on some other scores. So let's turn our attention to the complete Football Friday scoreboard. All right, Brookwood almost gets a win tonight. They lose a tough one on the road at Oak Grove, 7-0 in that ball game. Red Bay knocks out Fayette County, 36-20. Last night, Central went to Fairfield and lost 42-6. Also last night, look at that game. Spain Park, a wild one over Hueytown, 63-62. Clay Chalkful over Oak Mountain last night, 21-14. Also last night, Mountain Brook beat Austin Decatur, 31-22. Tonight, Briarwood over Corner 42-7. Summerton Christian, you saw their band. They get a big win. Over Meek, come from behind win 24-22. Oakman blanks Cordova 12-0. JB Pennington last night beat Locust 22-19. And it was Selleget over South Lamar 27-20. Well, that's a wrap for our high school coverage, but when we come back, college football. Alabama's Slade Bolden discusses the challenge of taking over for All-American Jalen Waddle at the slot receiver position. We'll have his story next on WVUA 23's Football Friday.
We're Alabama High School cheerleaders, and you're watching Football Friday on WVUA.
All right, we love bringing you the cheerleaders each week, and again, we thank Pool and Patio Center for sponsoring our cheerleaders. Welcome back into Football Friday. Those were the Oakman Wildcat cheerleaders. Let's talk college football. I'm Gary Harris. When Alabama plays Mississippi State tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. at Bryant-Denny Stadium, it will mark the 6th SEC game in 6 weeks for the Crimson Tide. That is a grind. Head coach Nick Saban understands that the players obviously are mentally tired, they're physically tired, but you have to keep a positive attitude so that you can push through.
Well, I really think it's important, this time of year for players to choose energy. And then I think when you choose energy, your feelings follow. When I think you put your feelings first, I don't think there's any football players in the country, anywhere, in any league, that when you get halfway through the season and you've had, 5 difficult games against good opponents, that people feel great.
Well, there is no replacing Jalen Waddle. That's a fact. He was arguably the most versatile offensive player in the country. He could do it all. Offense, special teams, he could run it, throw it to him over the top. But you know what? You have to move on. He's out for the season after he went down on the opening kickoff with a broken ankle against Tennessee. Redshirt sophomore Slade Bolden was immediately inserted into the starting lineup, and he just didn't go out there and hang around. He had a heck of a game. Caught 6 balls for 94 yards. He said this week he hates taking over as a starter under these circumstances, but that he's going to try to make the most of his opportunity.
It's hard, seeing J-Dub go down. He's one of my good teammates, one of my good friends. That's always tough, and this is not the way I wanted to get this opportunity, of course. And saw Waddle today, and he's smiling and laughing and joking as always, and it was good to see a smile on his face. But, yeah, I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm just here to get better and improve each and every day.
Alabama and Mississippi State again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. on ESPN. Well, Auburn will host LSU tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 on the CBS SEC Game of the Week. Now, both teams are coming off wins, and Gus Malzahn believes that his team, the Auburn Tigers and the LSU Tigers, are both playing their best football of the season.
You look at LSU and you see a team that each week has improved and probably played their best game. Overall, they got a bunch of, new guys like we do, and you can tell they're improving. And, of course, for us, last week was a really big road win. Real proud of our guys that the way that they won. They found a way to win, and I think 3 out of the 4 close games, our guys have found a way to win, which, I really think is going to help us moving forward.
Well, Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney confirmed Thursday evening that junior quarterback Trevor Lawrence, probably the most high-profile college football player in the country, has tested positive for COVID-19. The top-ranked Clemson Tigers will play Boston College tomorrow, and Lawrence will have to sit this one out as he is now in isolation for 10 days, and his status for next week's showdown, top 5 showdown against Notre Dame, is also up in the air. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Some other notes before I get out of here. Alabama volleyball loses at number 4 Florida tonight in 3 sets. They play Florida again tomorrow afternoon. Alabama soccer at home tonight gets blanked by Texas A&M 2-0. And Talia Tagovailoa, Tua's younger brother, now at Maryland, led the Terps to a huge win tonight, 45-44 over Minnesota in overtime. He threw for 394 yards, accounted for 5 touchdowns. He ran for 1. He had 58 yards rushing. He was unbelievable tonight. So great job by Talia Tagovailoa. And, of course, Tua will make his NFL debut this Sunday for the Dolphins against the Rams. Well, that's going to do it for week number 10 of Football Friday here on WVUA 23. Thanks to Alabama Credit Union and Pool and Patio Center and Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports for their support. Next week's day playoffs. Tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. it's Crimson Tide kickoff. Join the CTKO crew for a complete Alabama-Mississippi State preview. And for all your weekend sports, join William Galloway on Saturday and Sunday night on WVUA 23 News at 10. I'm Gary Harris. For all of us here, have a good night and a great weekend.